It is not something that I expected, to be honest. Welcome to the Budget IEM guide for the beginner audiophiles out there. I am your host Argha and welcome to Audio with Argha. There were times when $20 IEM sounded like shit, but now times have changed. Quite a bit, to be honest. After the Moondrop Chu release, there are a lot of IEMs that came into the market and it redefined the whole IEM scene totally, especially the ultra budget IEM category. But now things might have gotten a bit more stagnant than usual, but let's see what worth your money and what doesn't. The new IEMs that I'm covering in this video are Tanchjim Bunny, BQYEZ BQ10, 7Hz G1, 7Hz ELUA or Ilua, and lastly Aurora Ultra. Along with that, the older IEMs are here too, like the Chu 1 and Chu 2, 01 and 02, the Gate, the BL03 and KZZSN Pro X, or all of them cost around $20 to $30 and they perform quite neck and neck. Here are some brief introduction to them. BQYEZ BQ10 is a single DD IEM and it projects a very neutral, very organic, a very hi-fi sound signature which is very mature in the tonality of the IEM. Bunny is a spacious sounding IEM with the Tanchjim DNA of course added to its core. It sounds spacious, it sounds mid-bassy and overall a neutral set. Aurora Ultra is a two-driver IEM. One of the driver is dynamic driver and its second driver is a planar driver, which is quite interesting for the price. It does excel in the resolving factor of an IEM, which is quite impressive for the price. 7Hz Ilua is a 2DD driver IEM. And I don't know how they use the second driver or the first driver. I really didn't see the need of it. I will talk about a lot in the sound section of this IEM. G1 is technical sounding IEM which is very well resolving. It has good bass and it's almost a fun sounding and technical IEM at the same time. I have a chart open in front of my eyes and I will read the ranking out there. I will compare it to everything and it needs my eyes to be concentrated on the list, so there will be no eye contact with you. Bye. To simplify things, I will rank all the IEMs according to the reproduction of the various sections, and let's start. For the sub-bass is really necessary to enjoy high-end recordings, but to be honest, there are not many tracks that plays this region well. All in all, this region creates the base of the sound and yes, it's no pun intended. The winner here is the 7Hz G1. The sub bass here is rumbly, it has authority, it is full and textured, it's pretty good for the price. Coming at the second, there is Aurora Ultra. It is very good there too. It takes full use of the dynamic driver. At the third place comes the second 7Hz Ilua. It is not at the same level as the previous two IEMs, but it's better than what I expected at this price tag. Then comes the Tanchjim Bunny. It is okay, not good, not bad, it's just there. And lastly the BQ10. The sub bass is not there to give it a rumbly feeling. For the mid bass is where it comes to the preference and the alignment with your library, like a good proportion of the balance between sub bass and mid bass is really necessary. And surprisingly, BQ10 excels in this range since the mid bass is full, dynamic and creates a very well sense of thumpiness. Aurora comes at a second place. It's not as good as the BQ10. Ilua is okay at this region, nothing to get impressed with and nothing to complain about. Then comes the G1, very average sounding, the authority wasn't there. At last there comes the Bunny. It's not that great, although it is a mid-bassy reproduction. Even then the mid-bass is not quite there compared to the other ones. For the lower mids, the region holds the sauce for timbre and majority of the instruments including male vocals. Lower mids matters to me the most in any IEM and BQ10 tops it with flying colors. With richness and authenticity, the feeling of high fidelity sound is there in terms of the balance in tonal representation. At second position there is 7Hz G1. It is not as organic as the BQ10 but it's still pretty good. At the third position there is the Tanchjim Bunny with its somewhat neutral mids. Then comes the 7Hz Ilua and at the last position comes the Aurora Ultra with a pretty messed up lower mids. Upper mids are really necessary to nail due to the negative effect it has in the audio spectrum. It can ruin an IEM So refining this region is very necessary, and for this region again the winner is BQ10 by BQYEZ with its neutral yet authentic and very lifelike tonal representation. At close second comes the bunny, which is super good and might seem better to a lot of people than BQ10, but I prefer BQ10 anyway. At the third position there is Aurora Ultra with its planar driver showing its characteristics here and there with a lot of information out there, but it might get peaky sometimes in the higher volumes. Then comes the 7Hz G1 with its elevated and a bit unrefined upper mids. Ilua comes at the very last position. It's a pretty average sounding performance. Treble is one of those regions where the cheaper IEMs struggle, and honestly I haven't found any good treble reproduction in any of the IEM that costs under $250, let's just say. So take this with a grain of salt. And Aurora tops the chart with its impeccable treble performance for the price. The planar driver is really showing off its value here. G1 comes at the second place, not as good as the Aurora Ultra, but still there with a huge confidence. Bunny comes at third place with good balance. BQ10 comes at a position after the Bunny, and Ilua bottoms out the chart with very average sounding treble. Although sound staging doesn't matter to me that much, but I know a lot of people prioritizes it. Here it is. Bunny sounds the absolute best. Then comes the 7Hz G1. At the third place there is Ilua. BQ10 comes at after that, and at the last position there is Aurora Ultra. There is nothing really going on in Aurora Ultra. The head stage is really crammed up and it has that tree blob effect. Imaging with IEMs at this price point is pretty straightforward. Some sounds best and some are like trash. Bunny tops the chart again with the imaging. Aurora comes at a third place. G1 outperforms slightly and comes at a fourth position. Ilua comes after that, and at the last position comes the BQ10 from BQYEZ. To mention here, the Aurora Ultra has a 3 blob imaging, so the stereo separation is very good. That's why I placed it in the top. But if you ask for a 3D positioning, which is not really up to the mark at this price point with any of the IEMs, Bunny tops the chart. I generally separate details and resolution, but since it's a budget IEM list, I'm referring both of them to be the same. You want the most details in the music, right? Then G1 tops the list with incredible details. Then comes the BQ10 with a very natural detail representation. Aurora Ultra comes at the third place. Then comes the Ilua, and at the last place there comes the Tanchjim Bunny. Now if we come to the timbre is how authentic instruments sound. How the IEM represents the harmonics is the deciding factor of the word timbre. Now I'm sad to inform you, no IEM sounds good in timbre reproduction. All of them are pretty bad. And BQ10 tops the chart with very average timbre reproduction. G1 comes at the second position. Bunny comes at the close third. Then comes the Aurora Ultra with a bit messed up timbre, and lastly Ilua is the worst sounding IEM in timbre. Now coming to the dynamics, how fast transient response is there in an IEM. Then again in this region G1 tops the chart. BQ10 comes at a second position. Aurora Ultra comes at a third position. Bunny comes at a fourth position, and Ilua is worst sounding of the lot. Now coming to the main aspect of this video, I guess there is no need for the KZ Resolution Pro and Blonde 03 here, since I don't like them that much in 2025, so there is no point discussing them. Plus there are a lot new KZ and Blondes are coming, so wait for that. I will review those. Now coming to the 700 and 702, I do think that they still holds a pretty good value even in 2025 due to the sheer refinement they have in the tonal representation. They sound super natural with authentic and very nice balance. The only IEM that can beat the BQ10 in organic tonality, which of course steps a bit ahead than the 700s, same with the 1R, is the BQ10. BQ10 is 700, but a little bit more refinement, a little bit more organic sounding structure with the tonal representation. I mean, you can go with BQ10, 7R0, 7R02 and 1RSG, and none of them will disappoint you. Now coming to the Chu 1 and 2, I use them both quite a lot and they are just okay IEMs in 2025. I think G1 and Bunny overtakes them by a good margin. Bunny is closer to the Chu 2 where G1 is closer to the Chu 1 with its kind of metallic, a bit what I can say, a bit aggressive sound, but yeah, Bunny is closer to the Chu 2. I would say that new generation budget IEMs take a more bolder, a bit braver approach to the sound than previous generation, which played the tonality game a bit more safer way. I don't think, apart from the 0 series and the 1R series, whichever you like, there is really need of any previous generation IEMs out there. So here goes my conclusion of this video. What are my picks and what are not? Now for bass, Ilua and Aurora is a pretty good option. For mid-range, there is nothing that can outright beat the BQ10 followed by 0 and 1R. For treble, Aurora is great followed by the G1. For technicalities, G1 is the best followed by the Bunny. And for timbres, 0, 1R, BQ10 punches way above their price point. But I would take BQ10 for absolute timbre. So if you ask me what's the IEM that got the crown for the best sounding IEM in budget category, so it would be the Kinera Celeste Wavering Abyss. Sorry for letting you all down, but that IEM just tops everything I have in this price point. It just blows everything. The refinement, the bass, the mid-range, the timbre, not quite there in dynamics. You can read my review of the Wavering Abyss in Hitfi, but it completely blows away everything I have in this list out of the water. It won't sound super snappy in imaging, it won't sound super snappy in the treble, but as an overall set, there is no competition. Kinera Wavering Abyss wins it for me. And for the IEMs that I mentioned in this list, quite not there for me to give him a pick over the Wavering Abyss. But after disappointing all of you out there, here are my top picks from this list. BQ10 from BQYEZ is absolute best for the tonal representation. 7R0 1R is best for the neutral tonality. 7RG1 for the tick and detail is still pretty good. Before concluding this video, I have to tell the newcomers or the beginners just one thing. Coming to a conclusion is the hardest thing I did in this hobby in probably a year. I have these. I regularly listen to this. I A/B'd them. That's why I know the difference. But if you got something from this list, please enjoy the music. Please don't go and stress over for a little bit more treble energy, a little bit more bass performance. I know I know you are audiophile, man, but it's about music too. Extract the most out of your IEM, and I hope you have a very great day and you have a great listening experience with the IEMs that you got. Be sure to like and subscribe, and bye. Again, I'm going to make a lot of people angry with this video, but bye.